Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to create custom actors with animations, death, custom behavior, blinking, and pretty much everything you need to know to create your own custom actors. This will serve basically as the ultimate guide to creating custom actors, so this is going to be a pretty long video, but you should have everything you need to learn inside this video. So let's get started. First, we need to create our actor. So far I have nothing, and you should start with nothing as well, unless you already have something that you made, but I will start from scratch. Make sure, if you look in the top right over there, that the face of your actor is facing -y right there. So, like this. Alright, so I will be designing a small little thing. Shouldn't take too long. Perfect. So the concept for this actor that I'm going to make with you is a little thing that crawls on the floor with his two long legs. So the legs will be basically like this, and they will be walking. And we want to have a rotating saw on top of its head that he can rotate like this, allowing it to be sometimes you can bounce on it and destroy it, and sometimes if you bounce on it you will just die. Well, take damage. It will depend on the location of the saw. Okay, now that we have our little guy, we need to assign it some textures. So make sure everything that will have texture is properly UV unwrapped. Don't worry about the UVs for the materials, that will be only a single color. So, let's go. Alright, let's assign our materials. This will be the body. This will be the saw. Those will be the eyes. Those will be the legs. Those will be the feet. There we go. Now let's do some coloring. Oh, I forgot to assign the metal. There we go. There we go. Alright. So, this is for the basic materials. It's pretty straightforward. You just go to source, light color, and then you're done. However, for the textures, we will use source, but here we will set it for our eyes and our saw to shaded texture cutout. cutout because we have some transparent parts in our textures. For our texture, I made two little things. I made this saw right here and this eye, as well as an eye that is blinking that we will use later in this video. So yeah, create your texture on some free image editor online, or if you have Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint, whatever you have, make your textures and then come back into Blender. Now we can assign our eyes. Look at this adorable little thing. Then we can assign our saw. Perfect. Looks like he has a mohawk. Alright. This is great. Now that we have our little guy textured and modeled, it's time to rig it. Alright, so for the rig we will create an armature that I'm gonna set to viewport display in front, so we can actually see what we're doing. The model, I'm gonna rename it to skinned, and the armature to bugsaw underscore geo. The names doesn't really matter, but it's better to be well organized, you know. It will be easier for you if you rename things properly. Okay, this bone right there will be our shadow. Then we have a scale bone as well as the root. And then we have our body. So those three are necessary bones, and then every other bone that you create will be like yours. You can design them as you want, orient them as you want, and name it as you want. Make sure those three are set over there to not deform. Then you can parent this one to this one to this one. That's why you see I offset them like this. Now you can just put them back to their original location. Let me just parent this one as well. Hop, there we go. Now, if you go to pose mode, select the shadow. Over here you can set it as shadow. For the scale you can set it as scale. There we go. And yes, for the shadow you can change the scale as well. So if you have a big actor like me, like you can increase the scale, so the shadow will not be tiny. We will see this in game later. Alright, so now everything should be parented properly. Yes, now it's time to parent the mesh to the armature with empty groups. And now it's time to rig everything. So, the saw will be assigned to the saw. I'm gonna hide it. The little metal part and the eyes will be parented to the head. Then we have this will be parented to leg L, leg R, foot R, foot L, toe L, foot R. There we go. We should be all good. So now if we move the body, everything moves. If we move the saw moves. The legs. Perfect. Ah! Seems I messed up over here. Yeah. I assigned it to foot. I meant to assign it to toe. There we go. Oh, I messed up again. There we go. Alrighty, our model is ready. We can export it into our decomp. So in SM64 combined exporter, I'm gonna select export graphics. I'm gonna select the armature. I'm gonna give it a name. Like this, I'm gonna put it in group command 0. I'm gonna select my decomp folder. Alright, and now I'm gonna hit export object. Boom, success. So now our model is in the game, but we can't use it yet. Go to your decomp folder. Open it. Then we want to go to levels, script.c, as well as we want to open behavior data.h in include, as well as model IDs, and I'm going to do Alt O in this one to open behavior data.c. Alright, let's start with model IDs. We will define our model in here. I'm just gonna copy this, paste it here. I'm gonna name it model bug saw. Then for the number that you put here, you just increment it. So you see E3 minus E4. Like that. Then in script.c you want to find, there we go, this is command 0. To find your group, just simply go to the group you want to have your actor within. So if you want group 5, you just go to group 5. You search, you copy Klepto, for example. You just copy one of the enemies that are here. You come back here, Control F, and then Control V, Klepto, and you can see Klepto is in script func global 6, which means group 5 is script func global 6. So you just do what we're gonna do, but in here instead of up there. Alright, Now in here we want to copy this up because it's command 0. We want to paste our model here, and here we're gonna write bug so underscore geo. So this here is what you defined over here. It's the name, this name with underscore geo at the end. Then in behavior data.c you want to add a new behavior. We're gonna name bug so, and you can just leave it empty for now. And in behavior data.h you can add the behavior that you just created over here. Alright, now we should be able to compile and everything should be working perfectly fine. I messed up something earlier in the export. Earlier, when I defined the materials, when I exported, I want to disable save textures as PNGs, like that. And now we can export it again. Now if we compile, it will be working. So as you can see, we can move in, nothing is crashing. So we will be next replacing Bomb Battlefield. We'll be replacing Bomb Battlefield. So we can actually spawn our actor within the level. So for this, I'm just gonna duplicate this one. I'm gonna remove everything. And now if you go to tools over here, you can hit create level layout. This will create a basic level template that you can modify. I'm going to modify the location of the warp. I will spawn over there. This will be green. It's a bit too bright. There we go. Alrighty. And now we should be able to hit export level. We will be overwriting Bomb Battlefield. Success! Let's compile. I will do an in-depth tutorial on levels as well, but for now we will just focus on the actors. There we go. Our level has been replaced. Oh, I'm just gonna extend it a little bit. I'm gonna export it. There we go. Alright, now we can continue. Okay, now if we want to put our actor in the game, we will need a behavior for it. So, I will collapse all of this. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go to object behavior 2.c and behavior action.h. Alright, we'll go at the bottom of each file. So, we need to create a brand new file for our behavior. I'm gonna call it bugso.inc.c. There we go. And I'm gonna reference it in obj behavior 2.c. I'm gonna copy this and write bugso. There we go. Now we can close this. Then we want to define a function in here. This will be the core of the behavior. This will be the loop that will update constantly. So I'm gonna call it void bugso update. And I'm gonna go to behavior action.h and I'm gonna define it here as well, like that. Which means that now that we have added it here, it will be able to be used within this file. We also need to go into data, behavior data, and here we can start creating the behavior script. Alright, here we don't have any animation yet. So I'm gonna comment this out. We won't be using the home in our behavior script. We will make it move freely everywhere on the map. So we don't need the home. Then for the wall hitbox, we will do a radius of 120 because our actor is quite big horizontally. Bounciness 0. Alright. Now we can call bugso update in here. Alright, and now when we assign this behavior to our model, this will run and then our update will be looping forever. So it will be executed all the time, whatever is inside here. I'm also gonna do animate like that I'm gonna comment as well. This is for later. Alright, it's time to code our behavior. First, we need to set up the hitbox and whatever action we want to happen when we attack this enemy. I'm gonna copy paste this. This will be in the description of the video. So basically, I'm gonna rename it like this. This will define what kind of hitbox this is. We want to be able to bounce on our enemy, on the top of our enemy, so we're going to do interact bounce stop. So this is how much damage it does to Mario if you hit. I'm going to do 2. This is how many coins we want to drop when we die, when the actor dies. And then this is the radius of the hitbox. And this is the hurt box. So this hurts Mario, and this hurts the enemy. Now to attack handlers. So if you punch it, this will do some knockback, and it will die with a knockback. Same if you kick or dive into it. If you crush it, like if you jump on it or ground pound on it, we want it to be squished. And here is the same as before, we want it to have knockback and die if we attack it quickly or from below. Our actor will be a little special though, because we will have two types of hitboxes. Because we will have two states. We will have the state with the saw below the enemy, which means we can jump on it, and we will have the state when we cannot jump on it because the saw will be up. And in this case, we will take damage. So I'm gonna write interact damage over here. I'm gonna keep the same coin, health, everything. Except I'm gonna swap the hurt box and the hitbox. Because now we want the hurt box to be bigger, so we can actually damage Mario when he hits it. To make it interesting, we could do that we cannot punch it. So we can just copy this one and paste it. Punch, dive, boom, boom. So we can only kill it with if we jump on him. Alright, I'm gonna call it Boxo Hitbox. So up and so down. Like this, perfect. So now we have our hitboxes set up. Something that is important that I don't really see being talked about at all is that enemies, we want them to have gravity applied to them. We don't want them to just float when they walk off a ledge, which happens surprisingly often. So I'm gonna do O gravity equals minus 1.0f. This will set the gravity of the actor. Then we can do object set hitbox, and if you look in Blender, our enemy had the saw down by default. So we will do hitbox saw down. Then this code right there will allow us to actually hit the enemy and be hit with the enemy. So object handle attack, our hitbox, and our attack handler right there. You can see here I made an action. I set the action to 1. What is the action? Same over here. So the action is basically just a variable that it's like a local variable basically. It will be within your script, your behavior script, your actor, and you can use it to have different states. Let me show you. For example, if we do switch O action case, if it is at 0 by default, it will be always 0 by default. We want to do something because actor is alive, and then if the case is 1, as you can see, we have written the action to be 1 over here when he is dying. We want to do our test logic here. Alright. However, okay, here I want to actually change a few things. First, I'm gonna take all of this, I'm gonna put it here. Okay, so case 0 will be box saw with saw down. Alright, alive. Case 1 will be bug saw with saw up. Like this. Up. So here, by default, our bug saw will have its saw down, so we will be able to jump on it. And if we do jump on it, it will die. So it will be set, the action will be set to 2. So we will stop using this, instead we will be using this. And here we will have our death code. However, here we want to copy paste this. Well, actually we can only just copy paste the top. Hop. Alright, here we want to have a timer. This timer will dictate when we want to swap the saw from being on top to below. So we will increment it like this every time the script update is being run, so every frame basically. Now we want to have like that, and here we can set back to action 0, which means every 600 frame this will happen. So while it's not 600 yet, we will have the saw below, and as soon as the timer reaches 600, boom, we want the C to go up, the saw to go up. Then we wait 600 frames again, and poof, it will go back down. Alright, now if we are not dead, if the actor is not dead, we want them to accelerate until they reach a speed of 5. If they are close to Mario, we want them to look toward Mario. So this will make the actor go toward Mario, move toward Mario, because he's going, he has a speed. Then, if Mario is too far, we just want it to spin in a circle forever. So this will rotate the actor. Then we check for floors and walls. We check for a gravity to be applied. For wall collisions, if we hit the wall, we want to do a 180 degrees on ourselves. So it's not just stuck in the wall forever, it just poof, go like turn around and walk again. Now we should be able to copy this name right there, go to our level, make a new empty. I'm gonna parent to the area. Okay, so now if we go here, object type actor, well, actor is an object, model behavior name will be bug saw, model will be model bug saw. Alright, we don't need any parameters. And that's about it. Now if we export it and play, hop. Alright, let's see. Here is our bug saw. As you can see, he's He's looking at me. We forgot to add a flag so it can actually move, so I will do that right after. But as you can see, we can take damage. We cannot hit him with the punch. And he doesn't seem to be able to do anything. Let's change this. Let's see what's going wrong. So first here we want to add a flag. Move Y, no, XZ. There we go. This will allow the actor to move. Okay, it's moving. It's going toward me. It's falling. Okay. We can jump on it. What I'm going to do is play a sound effect each time we swap. Before we tackle animations, I want to make it able to blink its little eyes. So for this we'll go to object helpers.h, as well as object helper.c, and I'm gonna add a new function here. This whole thing will also be in the description. And we're just gonna declare it over here. Don't forget the comma over here, otherwise you will have some issues. Okay, so basically we're just telling the game whenever this thing is triggered, we want to replace a texture by another texture. So now we just need to trigger this function and tell the game which texture we want replaced by which texture. For that, we'll go back to Blender. We'll open our little actor. And we're gonna add a new bone. I'm gonna call switch blink. I'm gonna parent the head to the switch and the body to and the switch to the body, like this. Perfect. Okay, now in pose mode we go here, switch function. This is the name of the function we just made right there. I'm gonna paste it here, parameter 0. Alright, and now add a switch option. If we go to the mesh, we can create a new material. I'm just gonna duplicate my eyes material like this. Call it blink and change the texture to the blink that I made earlier. Alright, now we go back to the bone. Switch option, we want a material override. It will be the blink, and we want to replace a specific material, which will be eyes. Alright, and now we should be all good. We can export again. Now, if we go and compile our game, our little actor should be blinking. Look at him! He is indeed blinking. Alright, it's time for animations. I'm gonna make a new action. Bug so anim walk down. Something important to note when you animate for SM64 is that you need to do rotations only. For example, if I animate the head to go up like this, it will not show in the game. You can only do rotations. We want to animate the saw to be spinning as well. Oh, see? I forgot to add a bone. But it's okay. We can just add like this. Boom. Boom. I'm gonna parent it to the head. Alright. This will be this animation here. So what you want to do here, you want to go to export animation, untick those two boxes, select your armature. Alright. Then at the bottom in the animation inspector, with the armature selected, you want to add, boom, this action to the table. To see the table, you go right there, and now you can see table here, and as action inspector as well. So the thing is, if you accidentally add it twice, you can remove it from here. So here we only want one. There we go. Because otherwise it will be a duplicate and it will cause errors in the console. Perfect. Boom, boom, boom. And now we have our 4 animations. So down, so up, switch to down. Perfect. And now we can just hit export under export animation right there. Whoop. Okay. Now if we go back in our game, we should have some animations. And here you can see the index. Well, you can see them. So 0, 1, 2, 3. and you got the name, Buxo Animes. So you want to copy the name, go to behavior data, load animation, boom, animate. By default, we want to have the animation 0 to be like boom, by default, animation 0. So animation 0 is Buxo anim walk with the saw down. So this is exactly what we need. Then we want to go. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close this. I can keep this. There we go. Okay, now we just want to swap the animations when we need it. And for that, we just need one singular function that is pretty handy. Look at it! Look at this beauty! So if I jump on him with the saw up, oh, I need to change the hitbox. Hold on. If he has his saw up and I jump on him, I take damage. And if he has a saw down, I kill it. Alright. Perfect, let me just change the hitboxes. So, object dice if else non-positive. It's important that the health over here is set to 0 in both of them. And play sound. Death. Alright, now we should have our actor fully complete. Let's check it out. I suggest if you make your own actor to make sure the actor is not too big like mine, because hitboxes are annoying to work with. As you can see, I should have taken damage here, but I did not. Hop! Ta-da! Alright guys, this is it for this video. I hope it was useful, even if it was a lot of debugging and coding and rewriting the code, etc. I hope you got what I meant with everything and that you will understand everything that I've done. If there is something you don't understand or you have questions, feel free to let them in the comments. I will try to help as much as I can, and so will other people. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you later. Have a good day.